between the Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's get you over to Raymond James Stadium for the home opener. On the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And one advantage for this offensive unit is the big target, Mike Evans.
Play to his strength, his size and catch radius. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And some nifty running right away as he'll get this up past the 30. 11 yards there, first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Kiki QT, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted Was it an audible, or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
We talk so much about how coaches script things, especially on offense, to start a season, to start a game, whatever it is. Could they have scripted a better start in terms of playing? Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC, and his team won their season opener.
Absolutely. Perfect start to the year, but all the talk was, hey, that was week 1. Now we got to move forward.
Let's do it again in week 2. That's what he's told his teammates.
And the offense on the field for the first time today, and they were high-powered a week ago.
And they're beginning to believe that they've established a groove. They expect those type of performances each and every week. Running it, throwing it, they're precise.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. No problem there on the extra point. And we are tied at 7. That time 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Got it. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Fourth down, and the Bucs trot out the former 49er Bradley Pinion to punt it, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
To the right and complete to Galladay. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. On first down, it's Stafford. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring him 2nd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. Stafford now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stafford looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Stafford looks to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Here's Bernard. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
The Lions on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10.
Start offense.
And that'll set them back 5. This 3rd down just got even more difficult. 3rd down at 15 after the false start. Out of the gun, Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Matt Patricia here on 4th down, sending out the field goal unit. This one from 35 yards away. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
90, wolf.
Man, I got you.
Ready, go.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes, because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Tight end right, tight end right. Hey.
Allen now on the option right. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And shutting him off, now open field. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! It's their quarterback with their 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive... I mean, remember we talked with the offensive line, and one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
Gay is on for the point after. And that makes it 14-10. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
He hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. 2nd quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, but so far, just the single catch. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
out to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Switch up, switch up.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On play action, Allen hooking up here with Trent Taylor. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And he finds Howard complete. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
This quarterback now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Check 52.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So on 4th down, on comes the Buccaneer kicker, Matt Gay. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Gay's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game. But just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Blue 60! Check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. I'm coming.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait. And
rush coming, and he's taken down. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. They're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. They'll run it here with Bernard. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Over the middle to Evans. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And Gay knocks this one through. And with that, they take the lead here, 20-17. Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Russell Wilson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were winners in that game over the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Jacoby Brissett, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. 21-6 your final score. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter three? A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down. Throwing is Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Check, block 54. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the
On 2nd and 12, Stafford, he's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Stafford. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And his kick is good. And that's going to tie things at 20. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Allen. He can run for it, and he will. And avoids the contact by sliding. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
You can't block me.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and that'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll run it here. This is James White. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Allen, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. The give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Set, ready? 60 yours.
Man, I got you.
Let's go.
A handoff, Barkley running left. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are going to take the lead. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. It's caught. Jones. Now, he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a handoff. Johnson. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Set! Lady!
Check, watch the before. It's a party now. It's going to happen.
They'll run it with Johnson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack.
Enough takes to start you out a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. The shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Let's go!
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A handoff to Barkley. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And now they'll throw without him. Over the middle, complete. It's Howard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day on offense. It's going to be a long day.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
12 yards there and a 1st down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Here's Allen to throw it. That is caught at the 7-yard line. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Saquon Barkley. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So now here come the Lions up to go for 2. They'll try and run with Bernard, but he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. 23 yards on the play.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
Well, they have had success when he keeps the ball running it, but not in that situation. I mean, I think we got an example of why NFL coaches really don't like their quarterback in the running game.
Because whether he keeps it or not, he's likely going to take a hit, isn't he?
No doubt about it. And defenses, they're looking to put that hit on a quarterback.
To throw on 3rd down. Allen Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Barkley. And some room to maneuver. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Go! 60 or.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. First down, here's White. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Gus Edwards, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Stafford. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Right there, 54, right there.
Stafford now to throw. And that is incomplete here. They were looking for Johnson that time. And it's 3rd and 4.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Ross on the return. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well-conceived, well-designed, and even better executed. I know you're thinking it, but I'll just go ahead and say it. To give you an idea of how sharp he's been in this game, just his second incompletion, and we're in the fourth quarter.
He has been locked in laser. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Gay is on for the point after. And that one makes this a 19-point game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
12 yards there and a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
We got 4.
On first down, Stafford here. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise. Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. On the ground, this is Johnson. And snapped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They come up in an offset eye. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Eric Berry, the safety, comes flying in for the sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now it's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
On 4th down, Stafford. And it is incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now obviously they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Tackle made there by Mason Foster.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
3, a pickup of 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 23.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Buccaneers, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs are winners here as we say so long from Tampa.
everybody, it's the coach.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa. The children will grow, and it's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a bike. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? They were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Throwing now is Allen. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, step it back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Ready to go. 47. Mike's 47. Here we go.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And it's a Buccaneers touchdown. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
And we're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. Levante David in on the tackle. A look at the Buccaneers starters now on defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. That his first incompletion after a 4-for-4 start.
Yeah, but they shouldn't back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now Mason Crosby on for the field goal. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And the 13-year man puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Let's go.
So out come the Bucs now. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
Von Miller is so good that he doesn't even need a nickname. His ability to bend and dip on the pass rush, unequaled in this league.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like...
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On the set. Mike's by 4. Tommy.
Block now on first down. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
I'm coming. Hey, check 25. Get it.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. And it's incomplete. It's a dangerous pass. That's what it was. And it brings up second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Akeem Hicks coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. The numbers for him from a week ago. 19 carries, 134 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Von Miller picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
We got this.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throwing again on second down. Locke. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Got it. Check three. We got head two.
To throw again on second down. Locke. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Akeem Hicks able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
You got it.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Here we go.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. First and 10 now from the 30.
Double dog, that's the way.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. It's caught by Mike Evans. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Sua Craven's up to make the stop.
Especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there.
Let him know.
Throwing is Allen on third. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Let's go, baby.
And Denver getting set to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. To throw it is Locke. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. He hasn't had his usual star-studded performance so far, but still the 2nd quarter, and they're still up on the scoreboard.
And sometimes even as a decoy, you can have a big impact on the game, and that's what we've seen thus far. They're still able to get it done. They found other ways. They haven't had to utilize him as a top priority just yet, but you know he's waiting and available.
Yeah, now the question is, how will they utilize him here? Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted intended, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that. Yeah, he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Gets past one man. Call that a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts the defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball doesn't get all the credit, but how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Here we go. 50, play. 47.
On the run, it's Barkley. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On second down, they'll run with White. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. This will be caught at about the 5. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So on 4th down, on comes the Buccaneer kicker, Matt Gay. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Gay's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed
Super toe. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now Allen. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I think we can make this one pretty simple. That was a rookie mistake made by the rookie quarterback, trying to force a pass without really using proper mechanics.
Evans has it left side. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Bucs on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Allen now looks to throw. Will get this out to Barkley, complete. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
60 Pittsburgh. Yeah. You don't want none. Let's go.
On 1st down, Allen. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen on the left side, a catch by White. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. They come out here in the eye. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll run here with Edwards. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Gus Edwards in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Gay is on for the point after. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And the Panthers are out in front as they play the second quarter. DJ Moore, a touchdown reception. From there, we move to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City to see what's going on with the Chiefs. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Patrick Mahomes killing it. 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. Christian Kirk, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a...
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Vita Vea able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the trap.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's got some space here. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? He'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Clock now to throw.
Well, they weren't able to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Ready to go. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Let go.
Now Locke on the bootleg. This throw over the middle, taken in by Cole. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Lindsey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Freeman. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They look to throw. It's Locke. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton His second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos cut into that lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Crosby with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. It's a foot race. The 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. John Ross, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge it, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Gay is on for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So he took that one at the 6, returned it all the way to the end zone. An electric return it was, 94 yards to the house. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
I got you, son. I got you.
On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. Let's go. It's me and you. It's just me and you. Let's go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Locke got his man complete over the middle. That's Sutton. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
65.
Lock now on 1st down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence. And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking to go back to Sutton there, and now it's third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Now Mason Crosby on for the field goal.
A 32-yard attempt.
And Crosby puts it through, and high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards, and it keeps the drive moving.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
I'm going to run you over. Let's go.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion. I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, +3.
From the 29, Allen gets this out to Saquon Barkley. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Here's Allen to throw it. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He'll have the win at his back here in the fourth quarter. And Gay knocks this one through. And their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. This one fielded at the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Showing off that speed and electric boost that he has. 95 yards that kick return goes down for. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd and 1, Allen over the middle. That's caught by QT. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Credit the tackle to Isaac Yiadom.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Yeah, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Go. 60 or. Check, 47. Let's go, D. Let's go.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year, and the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st down, Locke. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Freeman. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Locke to throw. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Akeem Hicks able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So make it 2 missed field goals for him now, but I have the sense, given that distance, you can probably forgive him here on this one.
Yeah, this is out of the range of just about anybody on planet Earth except probably you, partner. But you just got to drive it out low and hope that somehow you hit it absolutely perfect. But no real chance for this one to go through.
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. The outcome of this one, Well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Allen. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. Throw right side caught by O.J. Howard. And he's taken down inside the 30. They needed 14. They got 15 here on third down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Set. 10-2 stop. Cut. Shoot.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Allen going to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Gay's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows, you may meet up with this team again.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now on 2nd and 13. Lock. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And the lead is down to 24. They've gone to the 4th up in Seattle, and it was the Patriots that wound up winners in that one. Case Keenum, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley, responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player who's having that type of a day, because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, you know, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Tampa Bay, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.